Hello, hello, hello. This is Tiffany with Healthy Passions. If you do not know me, let me briefly introduce myself. I am a certified personal trainer, certified wellness coach, certified energy healer by birth. I am a prophetess, oracle, and a natural healer. So we're going to get into Christ Yahawashi, who the world mistakenly calls Jesus. Second video, as promised, is probably going to be more. I think that's what he's letting us know today. We're going to break this down slowly. Basically, is the instructions that he gave me, due to the fact that a lot of us have been brainwashed into believing certain doctrines of devils, certain lies and misunderstandings. So he wants me to break it down very slowly. Like today, we have two very important topics, but we're only going to break down two things because when you go into the psyche of a person that has been told a certain thing their entire life and they believe it from the bottom of their heart, you kind of want to unpack things slowly and gently in a way so that they can not have like a mental breakdown based on the information you're presenting. However, I will say the energy of Christ Yahawashi this morning is running out of patience. Yes, I want to be gentle enough to make you see and understand, but very straight to the point. I'm not playing no games. Y'all are pushing my buttons. So y'all better get this stuff straight. And I mean now. That's kind of the energy of Christ Yahawashi this morning. So let's get into it. We're going to first talk about the covenant, okay? There's a lot of confusion, a lot of misteaching of the covenants that the Most High had. So let me break it down how Christ told me to break it down. All right, so the covenant. The covenant was made between Yah and the Hebrew Israelites from the line of Isaac only, okay? There are two covenants. There's the covenant to all the Hebrews under Abraham. That's all of us, including our family members that are not of the line of Isaac. And then there is the main covenant, which most of the Bible is about. So we have two covenants that umbrellas everyone, okay, that are the Hebrews, okay, the whole family, all right. And then you have the main covenant that was made between the Hebrew Israelites, the ones of Israel, the line of Isaac, those particular Hebrews, all right, the Israelites. So there you have it. Those are the two main covenants. However, everyone is umbrellaed under the Abraham covenant. If you are Hebrew, that means our cousins and all them good stuff, all the family. And then you have the covenant that the Bible is really covering, which is going to be what they call the Mosaic covenant or something like that. But it's really just the covenant between Israelites, okay? And that's not for everybody. Okay, so let's break this down. So we have the covenant that the Most High made with the Hebrew Israelites is from the line of Isaac only. That's the same one bloodline, one covenant, okay? The other... All right, so let's go in here. It's hard to break down. Okay, so we have the main covenant that Abraham had that every Hebrew is under. There's different Hebrews under that, many different nations, all right? And then you have that one nation, that one bloodline for the Mosaic covenant. There we go. All right. So this means that everyone, whether they're under the Abraham or the Mosaic covenant, follows the laws and commandments of the Most High Yah, who the world calls God. We all follow the same laws and commandments, or we're supposed to, okay? However, the difference in the Mosaic covenant or the covenant between the Hebrew Israelites. The only difference is the covenant that the old covenant and the new covenant are the same. The only difference is if you are under the Hebrew Israelite camp, you are the elect among all the other Hebrews under the Abraham covenant. We are a set apart group, all right? A royal priesthood that Yah deals with directly, meaning he still deals with the other Hebrews. He's still their God. However, with us, it's a little different. We are set apart to teach, live by example, or demonstrate, and to see it done and upheld. So we keep the order of the covenant. Okay, and we make sure that the other Hebrews understand it, and we teach it. We are the royal priesthood amongst the other Hebrews. That is the easiest way that I could break it down. So when your enemy gets a hold of your family records, they don't speak your language, and then they get it translated, and then they look at your books, they break it down incorrectly. So they're going to tell you that it's like 3 covenants. It's going to be the Mosaic covenant, the Sabbatic covenant, and then the new covenant, right? And then in that new covenant is where they insert themselves with what we call replacement theology when they weren't even there. So you can't replace the original people of the covenant if you weren't even there. So yes, if you want to break it down that way for study purposes, you can, but really there's only one covenant. The covenant is to keep the laws and commandments, okay? And then you have a covenant within that covenant of a certain bloodline that is the priesthood of that, or the teachers of that, the people who keep it organized and taught and hold the law, okay? So that's all that it is. There is no, the church replaced the Israelites. And that's where the church is very demonic, because the modern churches, because there is no way that the Most High Yah ever said that the Gentile church would replace the original people. There's nothing that says that, okay? It's gonna always be the original people. Okay, so think of it like this. If we want to break it down in human terms to where you understand. Let's say we're training a child in a way that they should go, and that child is between the ages of 5 and 10, right? So we're going to teach the laws of the house, right? That's the covenant. We're going to teach the laws of the house, all right? That child rebels against it, it learns it, then it breaks it, learns it between 5 and 7, all right? So after 7, that child has matured a little bit, so they get a little more of the rules, and you get a little more strict on enforcing the rules. So between 7 and, let's say, 15, they have the same rules, but it's more enforced and more detailed, right? So those rules don't change from 5 to 7. They're going to get introduced to the same rules, whether they rebel against it or not. They can rebel all they want. Those rules don't change. So if you want to get back in good graces with your parents, you're going to have to follow the rules, right? So those rules will be presented to you over and over again. So in order to rectify with the Most High, same concept, he presents the same covenant. The original covenant never changes, right? So if that is the case, that means the people from the original covenant never, ever changes. All right, so that is a lie from the pits of hell. These people in these modern churches from the priesthood of Nuhan inserted themselves in our scriptures, in our stories, in our, basically they took on our identity, and then presented themselves to the world as us, as cosplay, because that's all that is, and then said, now we have authority over your scriptures, and we're going to teach it the way we want to teach it, and you have to follow us now. There has never been authority given to the Gentile over our scriptures. Never, ever. The intention was never there. You can see throughout the Bible, the Apocrypha, all scriptures that says that the Gentiles were never to have authority over our scriptures, right? That was not something that was meant. It was something that would happen through prophecy, but they were never meant to have our scriptures and have authority over our scriptures, right? So that is the long way around. The people have not changed. There's no such thing as replacement theology. So when the Catholic Church came around and said, now I'm the victor, I'm this, I'm basically the new covenant. There is no new covenant. The old covenant is the new covenant. The covenant is the same. Okay, so they cannot replace the original people and then take them out of the equation and say that now all the prophecies apply to them. That is impossible. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, we're going to go to the second topic. This was a very sensitive topic because I'm going to take my time and unpack this. So the next topic is going to be the image of the beast. All right. So when we get the image of the beast, we get the number 666, which is mankind, human, not the God species. If you are not familiar with the species of people that are here on this planet, I have a good series that breaks that down. I think it's part 1, breaks it down the most, and then go into part 2. But it's best to to look at the videos of all 3. I have a God body series, and I think I put it in a playlist to make it easy to find. If you go through 1, I describe the difference between a human and a lowercase g God species. So that is a good video to watch to understand. So when they say that we are all the same, we are not. We are different species. Okay, so when you get the number 666, that is a specific humanoid, right? That's a specific man, right? So when you have the God, lowercase g, the species known as God, and then you have humans, right? All right, so that 666 represents a certain humanoid. It represents mankind, meaning they are like men. They look like men physically, but they are a different species. So that's where you're going to get that 666 coming in, okay? So they are not of our species. They're not our people. They're not even, they're considered a whole nother species, okay? So if I take the 666 man, who is a human, who is a different species, and has blonde hair, blue eyes, recessive genes, and then I say, this is Christ Yahawashi. This is the Messiah now. When the Messiah has been a black man this whole time, and then I make him a white man, the blonde hair, blue eyes, that is the image of the beast, meaning literal the image of the beast, because my color, my whole lifetime does not change. I don't all of a sudden wake up with blonde hair and blue eyes as a Hebrew Israelite woman. My genes are going to pretty much stay the same my entire life, right? So if I deliberately change my whole race, change my whole features, then that is a lie. And that is blasphemous, right? So we are going to break this down. So blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus, right? That is an image of a person who lived at one time named Caesar Borgia. All right. He was the son of a man who had a painting made after him, right? And that image in that painting was from his gay lover, who was the famous painter that painted it. So this picture of the current blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus that we see is the image of a gay Roman, a gay man. All right, a man who lived, yes, but is not the Messiah at all whatsoever. That would be blasphemous to say that he is. Okay, so that's where that image comes from. But let's get down to who they attributed that image to be. So the name Jesus, okay, it started with the worship of Isis, a female goddess, right? Then they combined Isis with Zeus, a male god. I think he's the top of the Greek pantheon. So Zeus, so look up these names. Isis, I-S-I-S, and then Zeus. And then you have Z-E-U-S, right? So when you combine those names, you're going to get Jesus or Jesus, correct? So the image that you see is a very effeminate white man with blonde hair, blue eyes. The reason why he is so effeminate is because he is a hermaphrodite, meaning a male and a female, right? A pagan god. All right, so God gave us over to our enemies to serve false gods all over the world. So Jesus being one of those false gods, right? So when we see the image of Jesus, you see a very effeminate white male, okay? Jesus is also one of the deities that are born on December 25th. Him and many others. All of the Jesus characters or the Messiah characters in the pagan world are all somehow born December 25th. There's your Christmas, all right? Born December 25th. There's a long line of them. I'm going to name a few just for research purposes, just to get you started in learning the truth. So Jesus was born December 25th. Horus was born December 25th. Osiris was born that day. Apis, P-H-R-Y-G-I, I want to say Phrygia. Mithras, M-I-T-H-R-A. Buddha was born on that day. Hercules was born on that day. And the most infamous one is Dionysus was born on that day. The list goes on forever. Dionysus was the god that was portrayed on the Olympic opening. So they're very much alive and well. Dionysus is also very heavily represented in Hollywood. That's who actors and stuff worship. All right. Now, the difference between the Messiah, Yahawashi, and these other so-called deities is the Messiah was actually born in spring, in April. The only one born in spring. So these other so-called deities were born in winter, December 25th, when everything is dead, right? Where the world is kind of in a dead state. All the leaves of the trees have died, the plants have died. They are born then. The Messiah, the true Messiah, Christ Yahawashi, was born in spring, where everything comes back to life. All right, with the living things. All right, so that's just a quick little example. Now, our people have been browbeaten for hundreds and hundreds of years to accept white Jesus, blonde hair, blue eyes. You will see some of our elders. I don't care what nobody say. I love my Jesus. When you present them with the truth, they say, I love my Jesus. I ain't gonna never stop worshiping like Jesus. I ain't gonna never put that image away. That is my Lord. And that is sad. But people like that, you must move on, because they are lost within the beast. So we don't waste our time with that. However, we do present the true information. They can either accept it or don't. I don't care how you look at it. Christ Yahawashi was the human known as Christ Yahawashi, was born through the line of King David from the tribe of Judah, therefore a black man. What you call black. We're not black. We are Hebrew Israelites. However, if you want to break it down in simple terms, between black and white, he would be a black man. Why is that important? They tell you, if you tell the truth about Jesus' real color, you are racist. No, we are not racist. We are truthful. There is a reason why you would want to change the color of the Messiah. If I change the color to a white man, then automatically all the attributes of God will be given to the white man. So that in itself is the racism. You are pretending, cosplaying the true people, trying to take on all of our attributes, our history, our accomplishments, our knowledge, everything that we are to be. And you're saying that your people did these things, even though they were nowhere around. Okay? So the racism is white Jesus. That is the image of the beast that the Bible speaks of. If I am a black person in history and you change my name and change my race, you are blasphemous. Okay? That's hellbound behavior. I don't care how you look at it. Now, what a lot of these deities have in common, especially Dionysus, is that they are, in Jesus as well, what we call a hermaphrodite. If you're not familiar with that term, look it up. That means male, born male and female, with both genitalias. Satan himself is a hermaphrodite. That's why some people say they see him as a woman. Sometimes they see him as a man. He is both. The goat is a hermaphrodite. All of these characters that he has embodied are hermaphrodites. That's why that is so heavily pushed in Hollywood. The Baphomet is their god, therefore a hermaphrodite. So a lot of them get sex changes, which is also very heavy with the god Dionysus. Alright? So you have to link them. Study the history. Go back as far as you can, and you will see the patterns of these deities, right? So once that's done, I know this was very long and tedious, but I have given you enough information to unpack. We are going to start learning who the true Messiah is. He is tired of his people worshiping someone else as him when they need to get their mind back in order to a healthy mindset and being that. Now, just because I'm saying Yahawashi is black does not mean I'm saying black supremacy. That is not what I am saying. I am saying that his people need to see the truth, know the truth, and then understand who they are and what part they play. Period. Until you do that, you're not going to understand Scripture. You are not worshiping the true Messiah or the true God. You're not. Just another carbon copy of these pagan deities. That's why in Christianity they changed certain things that are consistent with paganism, like Sunday being the Sabbath, which for us is going to be Saturday. They changed it to Sunday for sun worship, which is typical of pagan religions. I'm talking slow like this because I want you to unpack and understand everything that I am saying. If you are going to a Sunday church, you are a pagan. We have a covenant with the Most High to keep the Sabbath holy. And you let some foolish person that it has nothing to do with the covenant come in and tell you, we're not going to do the Sabbath anymore, we're going to do Sunday, and you ran with it, and you're hell-bent on keeping it, you are in error, and you will go to hell. Period. You have to make a choice. Either you are going to follow men, or you are going to follow God. Pure and simple. The Most High Yahuwah is his name. They took his name out of the book over 500, 600 times, and they replaced it with Lord and God. They replaced it with titles versus a name. The original text is a name. Yahuwah. You hear that? Yahuwah. Son, Yahawashi. Alright? So, it is what it is. I want you guys, especially if you are genetically a Hebrew Israelite, to get this through your head. You have to put down Christianity. It is a pagan religion. If you are doing holidays, not holidays, but holidays such as Easter, Christmas, Halloween, all of that BS, you are in the beast system. We have our own holidays that the Most High created and set apart that we do. So if you are celebrating those pagan holidays, you will go where the pagans go. Hell. Simple as that. It is not hard. Alright, I love you guys. I know that's a lot to unpack in this video. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but what I do want is you to start to do your research. Learn the history of Christianity and who their enemies were. They basically went after the original Jews, the ancient Jews, which were black, Hebrew Israelites. They went after the Jews. They went after the Moors, black people. They went after the so-called witches, right? Black women. So, not just any black women, because yes, black people are the same species, but they are different types of the same species, meaning that the Africans are different than the Hebrew Israelites. They are a different people genetically. However, they are part of the same overall species. So it's not all blacks, it's the Hebrew Israelites. Okay? That's who the covenant is with. That is as simple as I can break it down. Now, go back, use the Bible as a history book, and confirm what I am saying. Not only just the Bible, you have to go into history and learn who these deities are. Who is Jesus? If you go and study true Christianity, you will find all of its pagan origins. All of them. And once you realize that what you have been taught your whole life is a lie, you may be angry at first, but don't get angry. Get educated. The Most High says, my people perish because of the lack of vision. And then he also says they perish because of the lack of knowledge. If you have the true information presented unto you, don't instantly reject it. Research it, find out what is the truth, and go with the truth. Right? When that happens, repent and go forth the right way. That's all I have to say today. There will be a part 3, and it's going to get tougher. So this is a good place to stop. By Monday, when I probably do the video for part 3, unless they have me do one on the Sabbath, most likely Monday will be the next video. From today and Monday, I would like for you to implore you to do a in-depth study of Christianity, as well as the origins of Jesus. Okay? Go hard on it so that you know beyond a shadow of doubt that is the image of the beast. All right? I love you guys. I'm sorry to give such a hard message today. Sorry, but not sorry, because I am being as gentle as I can be, as I know how to be, because normally I teach this hard, because I like to get to the point. I am what you call a chosen one. So when I speak on a regular basis about this, I go hard, but I know how fragile it is to learn that everything that you knew was a lie. I went through it myself. I know how fragile it is, and that's not a time for me to be yelling at y'all about the truth. So I'm just trying to be as gentle as possible, even though I want, like Christ Yahawashi, I want to be straight to the point, going hard. I'm not for to play with you guys, but that's the gentleness that I have to bring forth this information in order for you to understand first, and then once you get a full understanding, then it's no games. All right, I love you guys. Have a good day.